Can you tell me about the moon?
I can't.
Do you want me to tell you about the moon?
Yeah.
What went into the moon's eye?
A rocket.
The moon was looking at the Earth one day, and he saw a...
Flash.
And he heard a...
Boom.
And then he saw a little bitty...
Speck.
A speck just floating slowly towards him. What was it?
A rocket.
Yeah, what happened? Right into the eye. What did the moon start to do?
Try.
It started to cry. And it's okay that the moon cried, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, got hit by a rocket. I'd cry too if I was hit by a rocket. What happens when you hit a moon man with an umbrella?
Poof.
Poof.
I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good. It might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement. Bye, Lorenzo. Have fun at the mall.
He likes to walk it, now that he's walking.
We continue Sci-Fi July here in the basement, but I think you'll find that October is also arriving a bit early. Tonight we watch sci-fi horror.
Oh, good.
Not only are we in danger of our lives, we're in danger of our life force.
Oh, no! Lifeforce. You might remember this from puberty in the 80s. You're going to have a fun time editing this one, Matt.
Is there a lot of nudity?
Very good nudity. Normally I wouldn't say such a thing, but it's notable.
Released in 1985, starring Steve Railsback, Peter Firth, Matilda May, Patrick Stewart, and basement alum Frank Finlay.
Frank Finlay.
A certain musketeer. Lifeforce was directed by Tobe Hooper and written by basement alum Dan O'Bannon. Fresh off of his success with Poltergeist, this was the first of Hooper's 3-picture deal with Canon Pictures, who made The Apple, which we watched earlier this year.
And Tough Guys Don't Dance.
The other 2 pictures were his remake of Invaders from Mars and The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. This film was scored by 4-time Oscar winner and 20-time Grammy winner Henry Mancini.
Hey!
Dun dun Life Force, Life Force, Life Force, Life Force, Life Force, Life Force.
Force.
It should be noted that there is the theatrical release on this DVD and also an extended director's cut. We will be watching the theatrical release. So you saw this back in the day?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Ah,
The
excellent.
right bits and pieces. I'm just going to have to revert to Teenage Craig for this. I'm going to be all...
There's that much nudity.
It's quality nudity. I hope you want to see Frank Finlay naked.
This is another film that involves space travel, and as we know, it's complex stuff. There's vectors, there's astrophysics. It's all over my head. Frankly, you'd have to be some sort of Einstein to be able to understand it all.
Hello! I am not a bobblehead.
That's a Funko!
This is a Funko Einstein. Funko Einstein. I'm steering the boat. My Einstein quote is actually from a movie where Walter Matthau plays Einstein.
I'm steering the boat.
I'm steering the boat. Are you sure this is Albert Einstein? It might be Mark Twain.
Oh, crap. Really?
Yeah.
It could be Einstein.
Sure, it's Einstein. Matt?
No, he didn't wear white suits. Mark Twain wore white suits. Well, what can I say? I'm no Einstein. Boom, 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 boom. Is that the sound of your heart beating in mortal terror? You must be on the old leather couch with us as we're about to watch Life Force.
Help me!
Introducing Matilda May. Won't you go waltzing with her?
Yes. The space shuttle Churchill
Is on a mission to intercept Halley's Comet.
But as they approach, they notice something strange in the comet's tail.
It looks like it might be a spaceship. The skipper of the ship, Tom Carlson, says, "We gotta go in and check it out."
4 of the astronauts go in to explore. Dan O'Bannon, always going back to the same well.
Pretty alien-y so far.
Yep.
Alien-miniscent. They find the dead bodies of some aliens.
Bats. Giant bats.
Thank God Ray Milland is not here. He would be freaking out. Exactly like that. Killed in mid-symphony. Oh, mustache.
I pulled his finger. The joke went too far. Oh, my life force!
And they go further inside.
They discover this giant chamber. There are 3 beings.
Inside coffin-like glass containers. We got to bring this back to the ship.
Another space shuttle is sent up to find the Churchill.
There is known to be growing concern over the fate of the crewmen who have not returned as scheduled from their mission to study Halley's Comet.
It is this reporter's opinion that anyone who insists that it be called Halley's Comet should shut the hell up.
They enter the ship to discover...
They're all crypt keepers.
They bring the 3 bodies to a lab in London.
The female is in an autopsy room. Did you hear the one about the drunk coroner? He was autopsy. Ow!
Whee! Her eyes pop open.
I know what you were doing. You were trying to tune in Tokyo. Well, it's not going to work. Attention, Houston. The situation has gone from critical to bodacious. And she kisses him, and she sucks out his life force.
Drains him dry. He's left just like a husk on the ground.
Worth it! Dr. Falada shows up. Hey, what's going on?
Hello, Professor Valada here.
Get me Athos and Aramis. We've got another mission to do.
And then she goes for a walk.
She's down in the lobby.
I'm being followed by a boob shadow. Boob shadow, boob shadow.
All right, miss, just stay where you are.
She blasts some security guards around.
I haven't seen such things since the war.
When the Germans deployed the nude Luftwaffe.
Take that, modern architecture.
And then she leaves. She should go hitchhiking. She would get so many rides. Colonel Kane shows up. The very model of confidence.
He is a hotshot. And that's all I know about Colonel Kane.
I'll take it from here. I'm from the SAS, don't you know? She seems to be some sort of energy vampire. Oh wait, we got 2 more upstairs. I wonder what's happening with them.
They wake up too.
But luckily the guards there have machine guns and they gun them down and blow them up. They're going to perform an autopsy on that other guard who was sucked. And he comes back to life.
Blimey, crikey.
And he grabs somebody and he sucks the life force out of them.
Everyone else just watches in terror. As long as we're all agreeing not to do anything, right? We all agreed on this? Man-on-man action. I can't bear to watch, but I can't turn away.
Turning them into a shriveled old crone. And now he's back alive. But luckily they inject him with a needle full of drugs and he goes unconscious. Lock them both up. Sir Percy shows up. He's a government official.
After 2 hours, the guard who has come back to life, he's gone nutso, and he just explodes into dust.
Oh, you dusty daddy.
Meanwhile, in Texas...
The stars at night are obscured by rain, deep in the heart of Texas.
A space capsule's been found. It's the one surviving astronaut from the Churchill.
He's traumatized and bearded. He tells a story of what happened on the Churchill.
After they took the aliens onto the ship...
One by one, all of his crew members get sucked. Their life force is drained.
And the female has escaped. She's killed 3 people already.
Oh my God.
Does this actor ever change his facial expression? Because so far he hasn't.
When we detected an object in the comet's coma.
We went inside the comet, and we saw the device, and spread the ship.
I know what I have to do. We can't let these guys reach Earth, so I'm going to rig up a thing.
Oh, if this is written by the guy who wrote Alien, he's going to remember the cat. He spent far too much time trying to save the cat.
I'm going to take the escape pod. I'm going to start a fire that's going to burn up these creatures. But apparently it didn't work because they survived.
Leaving her was the hardest thing I ever did.
That's the title of a Chris Christopherson song. That night, Tom has an erotic dream.
Close your eyes.
And I'll kiss you.
Tomorrow I'll eat you. It seems as though there's some sort of psychic connection that Carlson has with the space woman. He can see where she is and what she's doing.
She's in the body of someone named Ellen, probably making more victims.
She hitchhikes a ride with the man, and the man touches her leg. He touches her leg! That was some really intense leg touching going on there.
Dr. Falada has a super cool sword.
Dr. Valada?
If you like Dr. Falada, dun, 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 getting caught in a lab. Ellen is living in the Thurlstone Hospital.
For the mentally insane!
At the gate of the asylum, he meets Dr. Armstrong. You might recognize him from other space adventures.
I'm Dr. Armstrong, director of the hospital.
Oh, make it so, make it so, make it so.
Tom slaps her around.
I can sense the being inside you, and I'm gonna kiss it out of you. You know, science.
She's in the body of this guy, who's an inmate here.
Big man, fat, gray hair.
Goes by the name of Santa Claus.
I mean, if you're going to stop messing about with my patient.
That's my job.
We're gonna need to sedate this guy, so have a sedative.
Sedative?
Sedative.
I knew it was Patrick Stewart. I knew it. I didn't say anything. They grab Armstrong and inject him with the needle full of drugs.
The space woman was in him the entire time.
What happens when I touch him?
Let's
Let's get him on the table.
get him on the table.
She's trapped. I can feel that.
How did this guy get to be the lead in anything? I wouldn't cast him as the lead in a community theater play. They tie up Picard. Armstrong.
I brought the pentothal. Thanks, Lamson, that'll be all.
Lamson at home later. Oh, the pentothal I had to bring today. I am exhausted. He speaks with the voice of the woman.
Carlson, be with me.
What do you want from me?
I love you. I created my body based on your mind.
Why don't you let me go and we can go off and have our fun times together?
Let me go.
Kiss.
Let me go.
Kiss.
Well, he's using some poltergeist tricks. Well, anything you need in here? Any more of the morphine? Sir Percy is killed in the fracas.
They shoot him full of more drugs. They put him on the helicopter.
London is being overrun by these vampire zombies.
They get a call from Dr. Falada.
Speak up! I can't hear you!
Speak up! I can't hear you.
The vampires of legend came from creatures such as these. I know it sounds incredible.
It's actually a great premise for a movie. Hey, I just killed one of them. You need to stab them with a lead spear. And it forms a blood sac, which in turn forms into Space Lady. She doesn't have a name.
We've lost her. Her body's in London.
Her body lies down there in London. Her body lies down by the sea. Her body is shopping in Soho. Please bring back her body to me.
They have to go back to London.
And London is erupting into chaos. London's burning.
I live by the river.
We're doing two different songs.
In the helicopter, Carlson finally admits that he did have a more special relationship with the space vampire back when they were in outer space.
I was in love on a level you've never known, Kane.
I've been in high school. I've been pretty in love.
Lieutenant, you have any weapons aboard the craft?
Only this pair of fencing swords.
Lady Space Vampire, she's in a cathedral tomb, and she's sucking all of the souls of London straight up into the spaceship.
There are only two carriers. If we can destroy them, it may not be necessary to destroy London.
But I thought it would be sort of fun destroying London.
Carlson knows what he has to do. He's got to find Lady Space Vampire. But is he going to kill her, or is he going to kiss her?
Colonel Kane is going to Falada. And this guy. Who would think to cast this actor in this role? We need a hot shot to play Killer Kane. Get me a guy who looks like the lead singer of Simply Red. He finds Falada.
I'm glad to see you alive.
I reciprocate the sentiment.
Now that's British.
Falada's obviously been possessed. And so Kane kills him. Tom goes to the cathedral. He sees her there, bathed in the blue light of space. Did you miss these?
The one remaining male vampire, he's out there.
He had time to stop by Savile Row and get himself a nice tailored suit.
Yeah, that is a nice suit. Gives him a stab. And then he turns into a whole bunch of dust.
Kane shows up. He sees the naked people. Here's the sword.
Carlson stabs her, but stabs all the way through the both of them.
And they go, whoop! They fly up into space, and the ship flies away. Colonel Kane is back down there, thinking, wow, what a day.
Lifeforce.
I am so tired right now. This movie just sucked the vitality out of me. This movie is an energy vampire.
I feel invigorated from this movie.
It was so dull.
I did not find it dull at all. I found it fascinating, but not fascinating enough. So from what we can tell, the director's cut is 15 minutes longer than this movie.
Oh my god.
I know you say that, but this movie seemed to be about 15 minutes shy of making sense.
I think the problem is Colonel Kane. As soon as he shows up, the movie gets real boring.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because he's supposed to be such an important character, but who is he?
Who is he?
What does he do? Why is he so cool? Everyone is just running around. They're running back and forth, different places, helicopters, and they talk. Mm-hmm. They have conversations, and I just completely tuned them out. I was just so bored by the whole thing.
If we knew why they happened to have Dr. Falada there, who just happened to be their resident Van Helsing, and you just happened to keep this really awesome sword hanging around, just in case.
As soon as that sword showed up, then the movie got really stupid.
It started out really, really strong.
The first 15 minutes of the movie were very good, yeah.
Horror aficionados talk about alien geometry. Just seeing something, and it's on this Lovecraftian scale of horror, where just to look upon this massive thing is itself terrifying.
I thought the movie was really good up until the point where she leaves the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's when Kane shows up, and that's when the movie becomes more about talking and ideas rather than exciting scenes.
And you also lose the monster.
There were so many times that the continuity was just bad. Falada has his magic sword.
You know, if I had my own office, I'd keep all the stuff my wife didn't let me have in the house at the office.
This sword stabs each of the 3 vampires. The first vampire it stabs just dies, corpse on the table. The second vampire turns into a screaming bat creature and then explodes. The third vampire doesn't die at all.
And she gets to take a buddy up to space with it.
You can't help but be confused when you're encountered by such a lack of story continuity. Steve Railsback.
Yeah, that guy.
The man is human sleeping pills. Talk about a lack of charisma, even a lack of, when he's trying to be passionate, talking about how he loves her. Mm-hmm. It's just not convincing at all.
But it's weird that he's like just so dead through most of the movie, and then like every 3 or 4 minutes, he'll have this explosion of acting, and then...
I will say that I liked the special effects in this. It made me really nostalgic for the 80s. Even when Patrick Stewart turns into a kooky Ken doll. I love that. I love models. Mm-hmm. I love that they look fake.
When the husks come alive, they kind of remind me of Mac and me. She was the right person for the role, not just because she is objectively beautiful.
Just very blank.
She had the blank face for a reason, but then there were a couple times when she like came upon prey and she smiles.
That smile was eerie.
I'm very happy that you included my son in the episode that's probably had the most nudity in it. And he'll want to watch this episode a lot.
Yeah, that was obviously my intention.
That was your intention.
I didn't know that there was that much nudity in this movie.
I know.
I wish it didn't become the London apocalypse.
Yeah.
I would have much rather have it been this cat and mouse game where they're chasing her, they're quarantining her victims as they find them, and it's more of a strategic thing rather than it's 28 days later. You have scenes where they say, "Oh, let us out." "No, you're quarantined." Just let him go on the adventure.
Yes.
You know, we don't need this scene. I don't want to sit through this scene. Lifeforce. If you haven't seen it, perhaps you should check it out. I don't know. You are the master of your own destiny. And now it's time to force our way over to Seen It.
Olivia Kears writes, went to a Halloween midnight movie marathon and watched Alien. Seen it.
Seen it. What a cast.
Yeah.
Perfectly cast as well. You get the sense that they're these working stiffs. They're kind of these outcasts and mavericks.
Yeah.
It's a very lived-in ensemble.
The choice of the design of the outfits that they wear and the ship that they live in cannot be dated. In 100 years, that movie will look like it just came out. Dan O'Bannon wrote Alien and this movie.
Yeah.
He is all about finding things on creepy spaceships that you shouldn't take home with you. Never follow a distress call. Just let them be in distress. That's the lesson of that movie.
I don't know about that.
Just drive your truck home. Don't pick up a hitchhiker.
Crow Little. The most disappointing movie I saw in 2017 had to be Downsizing. I was hoping there would be more small people interacting with big things, but the movie is just mostly small people interacting with equally small things, so there's no sense of them being tiny for the most part. Seen it.
Not seen it.
This comment just strikes me as funny. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I can see that a lot of people might be frustrated with this movie because this movie really was promoted as a wacky comedy.
Mm-hmm. And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but with grown-ups going through midlife crises.
The movie is nothing like that. This is an Alexander Payne movie. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be melancholy as hell on top of the comedy.
Does anyone battle an ant in it? I have not seen it.
This is a sci-fi story that's a lot like the movie Interstellar, where it's a lovely story if you just ignore science.
Yeah.
Then it's great.
And you got Matt Damon, too.
There is a woman in here, I wish I knew her name. It was widely regarded that she was snubbed for the Best Supporting Actress Oscar, and she gives a wonderful performance.
Patrick Varnava writes, Alex Garland's Annihilation was my favorite film of 2018. The haunting score and unique visuals create a surreal science fiction experience that left me thinking about the film for months after I walked out of the theater. Have you seen it? Yes, I've seen it.
Seen it. Talkin' rainbow butt. That's something that Tona said while we were watching this movie, and it's because there's a certain point where Natalie Portman encounters a creature that looks like a giant multicolored anus, and it utters a sound reminiscent of a cosmic fart. So Tona said, talkin' rainbow butt, and for a while it became a catchphrase around our house. One of us would just look at the other and just say it. And I guess maybe I'm bringing that up because I want that to come back.
Talking rainbow butt.
There she goes.
It was amazing, mostly because it was one of the most creative movies I've ever seen. The world inside that bubble that they have to enter.
The shimmer.
It's just the noise that the shimmer made, and just how everything is just so warped in such creative ways once you enter there, whether it's a talking rainbow butt or a particularly scary bear.
Alex Garland's films are so inventive and arresting, but I have to admit I have a tough time connecting with them.
There is a distance at play in the movie.
There's a coldness.
Mm-hmm. Oscar Isaac does a southern accent in this movie. Don't know if I like it.
James Morris. I suggest you guys try watching War of the Worlds 1953. I really think this movie is a hell of a lot better than Tom Cruise's remake.
Cruisey.
It says Tom Cruisey.
Tom Cruisey.
Seen it.
Seen it.
I saw this a while ago. I remember liking the design of the aliens, and I remember really liking the colors.
It is a very oddly colored. It's like plum.
Yeah.
Is a color I remember from it. I haven't seen it since I was a teenager. It showed all the time.
Do you have anything else to say about the movie?
No, not at all.
Yeah, me neither.
But we've seen it, and we've seen the Tom Cruisey one.
Should we just start calling him Cruisey like we're Triumph the insult dog? Oh, Cruisey.
I'm
You're in another movie. I want to poop on it.
Talking rainbow butt. It's in there now.
I think it's about time for you to rendezvous with our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. You can see all of our episodes there, and there are also PayPal donation buttons. You can make a one-time or a rolling monthly donation to help support this show. Donors such as Carol and Josh from Prairie Princess Knitwear Designs. I've never even considered giving a YouTube show money before, but your show has encouraged me to watch more movies and really think more about the movies I watch. Our daughter now does the Megaforce thumb kiss on a regular basis. Unlike some children.
Oh, no. He does it on a regular basis now, as you predicted.
I knew he would. Can you guys send her one? Of course we can. To find out who the rest of our donors are and to see the exciting contents of our mail crate, you can watch Unboxing, which comes out this coming Friday. That's a satellite show to this show, where not only is there mail and more donors, but there's other surprises as well.
We'll see you then.
Now watch this. Looking good.
Where do you go, Lorenzo? Well,
I don't like that movie.
we're gonna watch a movie?
Yeah. Hello.